Hi everyone, in this edition of Character Files I'm gonna talk about SpongeBob SquarePants arch nemesis Sheldon J. Plankton. Now SpongeBob only has a couple of enemies. He has the Flying Dutchman, Man Ray and Dirty Bubble, but Plankton is the most common. And second to Squidward, he is my favorite character in the show. What makes this guy so funny is that he's just as evil, or at the very least he has the same mannerism as one of the big bad guys like Doctor Doom or Dr. Octopus or Lex Luthor, you know. And what is his goal? What is his big evil plan? He wants to steal the recipe for a freaking hamburger. But because of his limited size, it always ends up with him either getting stepped on or getting flushed down the toilet, often even before the plan has even begun. So he is one of these wonderfully comedic, very pathetic sort of villains, you know. One that you are just supposed to laugh at. Plankton has this great animosity towards Mr. Crab, but one time in the past they were actually friends, and even when they were little kids they still had the same personalities. You know, Plankton talked like a supervillain and Mr. Crab was just obsessed with money. And they had this idea of selling hamburgers, but they weren't any good at it and they blamed each other, and by a coincidence Mr. Crab created this recipe for a hamburger that basically made people addicted. And that is why Plankton hates him so much. Mr. Crab, he runs this restaurant, I think it's called the Patty Shack. Actually, I don't remember the names of the freaking restaurants. But Mr. Crab has one restaurant that is going very well because people are addicted to these hamburgers, and Plankton runs this really crummy restaurant that nobody wants to go to because he's such a terrible cook. Plankton also has a wife, a computer that he has built himself to be his wife, and sometimes she is very supportive of him and other times she is very condescending against him. But each time she talks you just kind of get the feeling that this is a person that is just depressed. I sort of get the feeling that she supports Plankton because she feels she should, because she's his wife. But at the same time she is smart enough to know that he will never succeed in anything. And even taking on such a minor criminal job like stealing a recipe, he is just way over his head. His wife's name is Karen, by the way. Plankton did play a part in the SpongeBob SquarePants movie, which is probably the only time when one of his plans actually succeeded. In the film, Plankton frames Mr. Crab for stealing King Neptune's crown. Neptune freezes down Mr. Crab and Plankton steals the recipe and begins to make a profit. And it's here where Plankton shows his true intentions. With each sold crab burger, he gives out a bucket hat that really is a mind control apparatus. Plankton actually enslaves all of Bikini Bottom except for SpongeBob and Patrick, that later saves everyone with the rock and roll music. Yeah, it don't make much sense, but nothing in the SpongeBob universe does. For example, why don't Plankton's restaurant go better in the later episodes? Or why isn't he still in jail? I guess the penalty for possession of slavery is minor than carelessness in traffic in Bikini Bottom. Since the SpongeBob SquarePants movie, Plankton's plan has become more varied. He don't just try to steal from Mr. Crab anymore. Now he do different crimes like stealing secret artifacts and other criminal acts. One of the best episodes with Plankton was the one where he and SpongeBob became friends. First it was just to come close to the secret recipe, but he actually started to like SpongeBob, and he actually became happy for a couple days, until he lost it and went back to his criminal life. That is very telling of Plankton, I think. That he could be a happy, nice guy, but that's not who he is. Evil is what he does, therefore he is. Now, I have my own idea for a SpongeBob SquarePants episode with Plankton that I want to pitch to Nickelodeon. Okay, there is these two retired superheroes in the show called Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy, that is a parody on Aquaman and Aqualad, with some inspiration from Adam West's Batman show. Now they are SpongeBob's idols because of an old TV show he watched, and as I said, Plankton had the mannerism of a supervillain already as a kid, so I thought it would be cool if he had learned all from the villains in the same television show. Now, Mermaid Man had one villain called Man Ray that was this robot, and he was a parody of Black Manta from the Aquaman comics. But as far as I know, there is no parody on Ocean Master that we all know is the second great Aquaman villain. So I think it would be cool to have an older, humorous version of him in the SpongeBob universe. You can call him something stupid like Oceano or Sea Monster Man, and he could be, he could be Plankton's old great idol, and then Plankton and SpongeBob could pitch their heroes against each other. And yes, I know it's somewhat cliche, it's been done before, but you can put on some twists and turns on it to make it feel more fresh. Yeah, I think that would be really fun to see. Now, as of the making of this video, I have not been keeping up on SpongeBob very much. I love the show, I love the characters, but I haven't seen the latest episodes because I've been, occupied with other shows to see. Yeah, that's basically everything I have to say on Plankton. I hope you enjoyed it, and see you later.